The Count of Monte Cristo.
Chapter 1. Edmond Dantes. Edmond Dantes was a young Frenchman who worked on a ship called the Pharaoh. In 1815, the ship sailed into Marseille. The captain, Captain Leclerc, had died during the voyage. Mr. Morel, the owner of the ship, thought about making Edmond Dantes his new captain. Danglars, another man on the ship, wanted to be the captain. He went to see the owner. "Good day, Mr. Morel," said Danglars. "Did you hear the sad news? Leclerc was a great captain."
"Yes," Morel said. "But look at Edmond Dantes. He works well too."
Danglars said, "But when Captain Leclerc died, we wasted time at the island of Elba. Dantes ordered us to stay there. It was like a holiday." Later, Morel asked Dantes why he stopped at Elba. "I was following Captain Leclerc's last order," Dantes answered. "I had to deliver a letter for Marshal Bertrand." Morel moved close to Dantes. "Did you speak to Napoleon?" he whispered. "Yes," Dantes said. "He asked me some questions, and he said he knew the Morel family from the army."
"Napoleon knew my uncle," the ship owner said. "My uncle will be happy to hear that Napoleon remembers him. Dantes, don't tell anyone about the letter or Napoleon. You will get into trouble." Dantes said he would keep his meeting with Napoleon a secret. Then he asked to leave the ship for 2 weeks to marry his fiancée, Mercedes. Morel agreed. He also told Dantes, "I want to make you the new captain of the Pharaoh." Feeling very happy, Dantes left to visit his father and Mercedes. When Dantes arrived at his father's house, he noticed that his father was not well. Then Dantes saw that his father had nothing to eat or drink in his house. "But I gave you lots of money before I left," Dantes said. "Yes," his father said, "but I spent most of it helping my friend Caderousse." "Take this money and get some food," Dantes said. He placed some money on the table. "Oh, here comes Caderousse now," Dantes' father said. "Hello, Edmond," Caderousse said. His mouth was smiling, but his eyes were not. "Hello," said Dantes, smiling back. Caderousse looked at the money on the table. Then he said, "Danglars just told me you were here, but he didn't tell me you had become rich. Do you think Morel will name you captain?" "Yes, I believe he will. I'm afraid I must leave you now to visit Mercedes." Caderousse also left. He went to meet Danglars. Caderousse told Danglars all that Edmond Dantes had said. "He isn't captain yet," whispered Danglars. Chapter 2. Arrested. At Mercedes' home, Edmond Dantes told his fiancée his good news. The happy couple went for a walk and passed a cafe where Danglars and Caderousse sat. "Hello, Edmond," said Caderousse. "Oh, hello," Dantes said. "When is the wedding?" asked Danglars. "Soon. Tomorrow or the next day. We are in a hurry because I have to go to Paris," Dantes answered. "To Paris? Why?" "Captain Leclerc asked me to deliver something." "Oh, I see," said Danglars.
He guessed that Dantes was taking a secret letter to Paris. That gave Danglars an idea.
Well, have a good journey,
Danglars said. Thank you, said Dantes. Then he and Mercedes walked on. Danglars took out a pen and wrote this letter.
A friend of the king has information for him. Edmond Dantes of the ship Pharaoh brought a letter from Elba. The letter is from Napoleon. It is for the people in Paris who want to help Napoleon. The letter is in Dantes's coat.
The next day, at Dantes's wedding, all the people were enjoying delicious food. Suddenly, an officer and 4 soldiers ran in.
Where is Edmond Dantes?
The officer asked. That is my name, said Dantes. Come with me, the officer said. There must be a mistake, said Dantes. I have done nothing wrong. The officer only said, I have orders to arrest Edmond Dantes. That is what I am doing. Come. Morel went to his friend Dantes. He said,
This is how the law works here, Dantes. Go with them. This is a mistake, I'm sure. All will be well.
Dantes looked at Mercedes, who was crying. He told her, Don't be afraid. Then he let the soldiers lead him to the door. I love you, Edmond, cried Mercedes. And I love you, Mercedes. Chapter 3. Prison. The soldiers took Dantes to a boat. Soon, the boat was moving out to sea. Please tell me where we are going, Dantes said. One soldier pointed, and Dantes saw the dark shape of the Château d'If. Dantes knew of many strange stories about this prison. Men went there and never returned. When the boat arrived, the soldiers took Dantes up some steps. They passed through a metal door and into an open place with high walls on all sides. A guard led Dantes to a dark room and left him there alone. One evening, he heard a sound in the wall. Someone is trying to escape, he said to himself. Dantes wanted to help. The stone walls and floor were old and soft. Parts of the walls and floor broke into small pieces easily. After some hard work, he made a hole in the floor. The hole gave him some hope. He did not want the guards to see it. Dantes pushed his bed over the hole to hide it. Chapter 4. Faria. Every night, the guard brought Dantes soup for dinner. Dantes waited for 1 hour after the guard left. Then he would go back to work on his hole. It was hard to dig with his hands, so Dantes broke his mug. He used the biggest piece for digging. One thing kept Dantes working. He could hear someone else making a hole through the floor. One night, Dantes came to a hard spot. He could not go deeper. "Now I have no hope," Dantes told himself.
"Don't say that,"
said a voice.
"There is always hope."
Suddenly, part of the hole in Dantes's floor fell in. From the floor, a small, old man climbed into Dantes's room. He had dark eyes, long white hair, and a long white beard. Because he hadn't seen another person in a long time, Dantes was very excited. The old man was not very excited to see Dantes. He said,
"I had hoped to find a way out, not just another cell. Do you know what is outside the walls of this cell?"
Dantes said, "One wall is built against the rock. One is against the governor's house. We can't escape there. But I don't know where this side with the window faces. The window is too high for me to look out." The old man climbed onto Dantes's shoulders to look out. He told the younger man,
"It is no good. This side of your room faces an open pathway. It is guarded all the time. We cannot escape through any of these walls."
"How can you be so calm?" Dantes asked.
"All we can do is wait and hope,"
said the old prisoner.
"Don't forget that."
The old man said his name was Faria. He showed Dantes his tunnel. They followed the tunnel to Faria's cell, where they sat and talked. After that, the two men met every night. Faria taught Dantes about many things. Time passed. Dantes was happier because he had someone to talk to. One night, Faria said that Danglars and Caderousse might have caused Dantes to go to prison. This idea changed Dantes. From that time, he only thought of revenge against those two men.
"I am sorry that I gave you that information,"
said Faria.
"Now you only think about revenge."
One day, Faria became ill. He told Dantes about a hidden bottle of medicine.
"When my sickness reaches its worst point, give me a little medicine,"
the old man said. Then he suddenly stopped talking. Dantes thought he was about to die. He quickly found the medicine and poured a little into Faria's mouth. After a few hours, Faria opened his eyes. He was a little better, but still very weak. "Don't lose hope," said Dantes.
"No,"
said Faria.
"There is no hope for me. I'm getting worse. Soon I will die."